functionality, the movement that is being built inside of it. But when you look at this design, remember, anything I show, it's a matter of you want the mother of pearl, if you want the genuine Meteorite dial, which is a little bit of an upgrade, and realize only a $100 upgrade to get a real Meteorite dial, and then the diamond pave. So we'll start here. The Chaos, of course, is a 50mm watch. We wanted to dedicate, you know, this size of a timepiece because of the Chaos series, which has probably the most beautiful integrated strap. My favorite part of it is, of course, you know, it's part of the reserve collection, but the thickness of how the bracelet is being built all the way through. You have the insignia over here, which was signature to the Chaos collection from day one. Yep. You have the integrated finishing that is done in what, you know, people call the, you know, the finishing on the bezel design. So it is a unidirectional bezel. You have that grade A mother of pearl going all the way through. But what I do want to show you here is the movement. I mean, to me, that's important on this one, right? I mean, we're giving you such a tremendous value on the inside. That newer Meccano from Ronda, the R150, really marking Ronda's return to building these gorgeous precision instruments, these mechanical automatic builds. So this is a big deal for Ronda, for us. I mean, it's an amazing value. And I will tell you, you know, and I'll tell you a quick story, guys, because, you know, I mentioned we have this incredible relationship with Swiss Ronda. And, you know, I'm a personal friend of the CEO and the CEO of Ronda. For many years, you know, when he comes to visit me in Florida, he stays at my house. That's how close we are. Right, right. And one of the big secrets that we had together was, he comes to me and goes, "Al, the one thing that we're going to be doing this year differently is I'm going to be launching an automatic movement." And I'm like, "You can't be a quartz manufacturer and suddenly get into automatics." He goes, "Well, do you realize that we were one of the first automatic manufacturers in the world?" And I said, "Let's celebrate that." So we took the R150 series. We committed to being the first ones in the world to use it. And we did that last year. We commemorated, as you remember, as the first watch ever to be able to build into that. In some number limited editions. Real quick, the one that you're wearing on your wrist, we're calling that red, the silver tone red. That's the most popular choice right now. But the one that may sell out first is going to be that gold tone execution. Yeah, let me switch out then. Sure. Because guys, if you want this, rose or gold. And I know Ryan's going to give us some updates here. I'll go with the rose gold. Okay. So are we good here? So let's talk a little bit more about that movement too. I mean, you know, you were just talking about Ronda. What's really crazy is they really, you know, kind of sunsetted mechanical automatics in 1974 when quartz was all the rage, kind of the tail end of that quartz revolution. And of course, we know Ronda, we're going to have some great watches coming up tonight with those precision instruments on the inside too. But really in 2011 is when they made that decision. You know what, we're going to get back in this game, build these gorgeous instruments. And it took them about 5 years to get into that, debuting that at Basel World 2016. Huge, huge launch there. Now fast forward a few years, we're building these gorgeous watches with those on the inside. Yeah, and I'll show you, we actually have, you know, our team, and whenever you guys are ready for it, you know, we have our watchmakers, and we have master watchmakers, you know, many generations in the watch industry are actually here. And I wanted to get their thoughts on the actual movement. So whenever you guys are ready for that, let me know, and we'll queue it up, and we'll head over there. I know Matthew's going to be doing a little bit of interview with our watchmakers, but realize that, you know, Ryan, when you look at the R150, it's one of the probably, you know, with the many watches that you've presented, it's probably the one movement that is the most limited that we ever show. And I know how hard it is. I think Ronda makes a total of maybe 5,000 units for the world when it comes to the R150. So we had that commitment. I said, guys, we're doing this big event. I want you to make sure that you get me these movements for this, you know, for this presentation. It's the only way we're going to get it out there. Well, and to be. Yeah, let's talk about the limited availability here, right? So it's manufacturing the movements, it's sourcing the movements to get into these. Of course, Meteorite becomes even more scarce. You're talking about sourcing 353 diamonds per diamond watch. Talk about crazy limited productions here today. This is absolutely the time to get into this design. And I think it's really cool, Al, that you're choosing. You know, you have so many of these movements only, and you're choosing to do something tonight in 3 different price points out here, so everybody can play and get in this movement that everybody is talking about. And what's cool about it is that, you know, I've talked to some of the collectors out here, like, you know, I ordered all of them. I ordered the Mother of Pearl. I ordered the Meteorite. I ordered the Genuine Diamond, and we'll show you all of them. So let's do this. We have our watchmakers here, and they've actually, I think Matthew's out there, or he should be. We'll go out there, we'll get a little bit of interview so I can tell you about the movement.
Hi everybody, I'm here live with Roberto and Dan, the official watchmakers of the International Invicta Watch Service Center. Roberto, what is it about the Ronda 150 that makes this such a desirable movement?
I love this movement. I love the high polished pivots on it. It's a 25 joule, 40-hour power reserve. Love this watch.
And for accuracy?
Accuracy is fantastic. It should be plus or minus a few seconds a week. So it's fantastic.
So 3 generations in watchmaking in your family.
Yes.
How many watches have you repaired?
Dan, what do you think?
We estimate over 10 million.
10 million.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. And how rare is it that we use this R150 in the Invicta watch collection?
This is a rare caliber. This is a special model.
And how does it measure up to other desirable movements within the watch industry?
I don't know what you feel like, Dan,
I think very well. You know, I love the fact that it's a 28,800 vibrations per hour. So that means it's very, very accurate. In the realms of a 7750 or an SW200 or an SW500, very, very good.
Yes, I'll say, you can hear it from us. And, you know how I feel about, about these moments, but really getting that reaction from people who see watches day in and day out, it's absolutely incredible.
Actually taking it apart, seeing the components, the high quality materials, and this is what they were talking about, 25 jewel bearings on the inside, the Inca Block anti-shock system there as well, NevaFlex mainspring, so it's nothing but the best when you're talking about that Swiss quality on the inside of this piece.
No, and it's not only Swiss quality, you're talking about Swiss assembly manufacturing on every single piece. So this is the mother of pearl version. I want to remind everybody that there is a genuine diamond version available, which is the Pave dial for a little bit more, and of course, one of my favorites and probably the most sought after, because that is something that no two watches will ever be alike. It's going to be on that Meteorite dial. So I don't know if we want to show that a little bit.
Yeah, we will here, I think, in just a second. You know what we were just showing you was the silver tone, gold tone, already counting down to complete sellout. Those numbers that you're going to see on your screen is to complete sellout. They will be gone here very, very quickly.
Right, silver tone red is the most popular.
Right, give us some updates.
Yeah. So here. Okay, so we'll come back to this one. Remember, you can get it home today. You're saving over $1,700 off. You can get it home for $288.63. Otherwise, if you want to do the valid pay, $48.10. But if you add one other item on, like a watch toolkit to this, and you get to that $299, you can bring it home and use your Shop HQ card. Bring it home with that valid pay for this watch of $32.07 for a reserve collection, Swiss automatic, with that beautiful mother of pearl for the dial on the inside of this timepiece.
What about the Invincible, Ryan?
What's that?
What about the Invincible?
Yes, of course, we can talk about the Invincible program. You want to do that? It's been something we've had at Invicta for about 3 years, and we've just recently released it to Shop HQ. And so what you can do is you lock in your purchase price today of $288.63, and within 5 years, you can trade in for another timepiece, or you can trade up and pay the difference to get into another caliber of a timepiece out there. It really is that peace of mind for you for the next 5 years when we ship that watch for you. We handle the shipping on both ends for you, but here you go right here. Trade in, trade up, all within 5 years. You get that locked in price. You can find out more on invincibleguarantee.com, but you can use that on your checkout, and we actually offer value pays for that in combination with this timepiece.
So we're going to show these other two styles.
Yeah, let's. I know we're getting a lot of calls out there, guys. We have a ton of you calling in for this example. Let's talk about the Meteorite for a second.
I've been wearing that one, hands down, one of my favorites there. I mean, to get into space rock.
By far, one of the coolest things. And, I'll give you a tour of it. I'll model it. I'll show you the right.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the Meteorite and what it means, because,
absolutely.
The reminder that I want to say about the Meteorite dial is that it's not a fancy word for the dial.
No.
You have to realize that you're getting an actual piece of a meteorite being used, carved out, shaved off, sent it to our dial factories, and